Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Stampin' Up! Tutorial. So today I am going to be creating a really cute and quick, simple project with you featuring the two A Wild Rose stamp set and the coordinating Wild Rose dies. I love this stamp set, this flower, you guys. It is so absolutely beautiful. And then the sentiments, I love this one. It is retiring and I just had to get a little bit more use out of this one. I love it. And I have paired this stamp set. Normally I try to create my projects using just one stamp set, but none of these sentiments fit what I wanted for the occasion of today's project. So I pulled out the Itty Bitty Greetings stamp set. This is also retiring, but I pulled out this this set and chose a sentiment from here. All right, so I've got all of my pieces here for today's project, and I'm actually using the Love You Always treat boxes. Finally using these. So I decided I wanted to create something cute for Mother's Day that could be like a little table favor, because my sister reminded me the other day that this is my first Mother's Day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hadn't even thought about that. So anyway, so we're gonna use those, but let me go ahead and do my stamping first. So I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and then I'm also bringing in my piercing mat. That's just gonna give me a nice cushion as I stamp my big, beautiful flower in Poppy Parade. Okay, just ink that up and stamp it down. Beautiful. Oh, I love that. Look how pretty that image is. Now, I'm not using any of the other layering images, so you can build this flower up and make it more dimensional. I'm actually just using the line art image. Now I'm just going to run this over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and die cut this out. All right, so I've got my rose all cut out. Then I'm going to bring in this piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock. And for my sentiment from the Itty Bitty Greetings, I chose the, where is it? Fabulous at Any Age, but I actually only wanted fabulous. I don't want the any age. So I've got my stamp on my block here. It's upside down. And I'm actually just gonna use my basic black Stampin' Write marker to color in the sentiment, or to ink it up, I guess I should say, not color it in, but to ink up the sentiment so that I only get just this part. Just the word fabulous, and then I'll just stamp it down. Oh, look at that. I mean, that Stampin' Write marker inks up just as beautifully as an ink pad. Look at that. So nice. Okay, then I've got my classic label punch, and I am going to punch this out, but I'm going to get it pretty close to the right of the sentiment, and that looks good. Punch. And then I am going to take the sentiment, flip it upside down, and then I'm going to bring it back in, tuck it into this punch. Let's see if it'll do it on camera. You know, things act differently when you're filming. Okay, well, it wasn't this hard. Okay, there we go. So just slip it in there. Well, now it stopped. There we go. And then you can kind of line it up where you want it. And I want to bring it in so that it's not as long as the punch is designed, so that it's a little bit more of a custom fit. So I think right there looks good. And look at that. Now you've sized it perfectly for your sentiment. Okay, so now we can start building up this little box, but first I need to take a sip of coffee. It's Saturday morning. Give me a second. Okay, all right, back to it. I'm filming this on Saturday morning. You're seeing this on Monday afternoon, but okay. So to build this box up, all you do is you want to first start by just folding on all of the score lines. Da-dee-dee. Okay, so Malachi woke up while I was filming, so I had to go get him, feed him, change him, and he's on his play mat in my office. So, okay, so I folded on all of the score lines. Now, when you go to assemble this, you actually fold the opposite, you want to fold inward, not backward, if that makes sense. So I'm going to fold these two little tabs in, and then I'm going to fold, let me fold this back just so you can see. Then I'm going to fold these two side pieces in, and then you press that tab down. Do you see how that tab folds down and in? I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Down and in, it makes like a little foot inside. Then I'm going to take this one and do the same thing, fold down and in on that tab. So now these are all folding inside of the box. Can you see that? I hope this is making sense. Okay, then you want to take this one because this one's going to lock it all into place. So fold in and push this one down, and it snaps into the little opening of the other side. I hope that made sense. And I hope you can see good. Okay, so there's the box, and then the lid is much easier. You just fold it open, and then these two slide together. Really nice sized box. It really, really is. You can fit a good amount of stuff inside of here. I haven't decided what's gonna go in mine yet, but it's gonna be a table favor for Mother's Day. We always do something fun on Mother's Day. So I took some of that floral art designer series paper. I had to check myself. It's Fine Art Floral. I used this the other day. I love this paper. So this is cut 3.5 inches, excuse me, 3.5 inches by 10 inches. I'm just gonna flip it over, and I'm going to add, okay, just making sure I'm filming. I just had like a bad feeling like that I didn't press record. Okay, so I'm just adding tear and tape to both ends of this. There we go. Now he's got the hiccups. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, there's that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the backings off of both of these ends, and then we're gonna add this onto our box, and we're just gonna center it up. Oops, that kind of folded up. Did I get it? Yeah. And we're just going to center it up. So I'm gonna find the bottom. Okay, so here's the bottom. And I'm just going to center this on my box. That looks about centered. Do it right there. And then I'm just gonna start wrapping it around. And I didn't care if it was exact measurements, which is why I didn't create any like actual score lines for this. I'm just wrapping and pinching as I go so that it has a nice tight fit. That works for me. If you want it a little bit more specific, you could always measure out where those exact score lines would be, but it doesn't bother me. Okay, and then adhere it down, and look, it is a perfect 10 inches around when you do it that way. All right, so we've got our little belly band on. There's that. Now I'm gonna come in with this Coastal Cabana ribbon. This is from the Playing with Patterns collection, and it's actually not the blue that's featured in this designer paper, but I felt like it worked well. So what I just did is I slid the outside sleeve off, and I'm going to actually tie the ribbon on like this because I want the box to be easily opened. I don't want them to have to like untie a bow or anything like that. So I'm making it very easy, and I'm tying it just around the lid, and I'm not even doing a bow actually. I'm doing just a knot because I felt like a bow would try to steal the show, and I want that big beautiful rose to be more of the focal point, and I thought a bow would do too much. So I'm just doing a knot, just like so, and it kind of twisted, but my dimensionals will twist that back. Okay, and then just cut those little tails. Okay, all right, and then you can just slide this back on, and see, the bow does, or the ribbon does not get in the way of opening or closing your box. So just a little trick there. All right, so now I'm gonna put some dimensionals onto my flower. And then I'm actually just gonna put a little edge piece down the center just to kind of help keep that ribbon down. Alrighty, so I'll put this rose on. Right there looks good. And then I'll take another little piece of edge and get my Fabulous sentiment and put that right on the back. And we'll put that Fabulous on just down here in the bottom left, right there. And then I'm gonna finish this little box with one of these Playing with Patterns resin dots. And this is the Coastal Cabana dot, the large one. Just put that in the middle of my flower. And there you have it, you guys. That finishes up today's project. I absolutely love how this little box turned out. What do you think? And you can fit so much stuff in here. So I've got to decide what I want in here for my little table favor treat for Mother's Day with my sisters and with my mom and my godmother. So yeah, so love it. Here's my original, and I need to make, let's see, I need to make 2 more of these, right? 2 sisters, 2, yeah. So I need to make 2 more of these. Okay, so I hope that you guys have enjoyed, and don't forget you can find all of the supplies and measurements for today's project over on my coordinating blog post link down below in the video description. You can also find all of the supplies listed down below with clickable links. So thank you again, and I'll be back very soon with another tutorial. Have a great day.